Que lo que Knicks fans is the boy Don Juan here. Welcome to Knicks fans. Oh man, here we go again, man. This is Knicks Wildin', episode 75. You know how we do it here, man. Still working on the intro, but it's eyes. Another week of Don Juan hosting with my guy here, Zbo. You know how we do, man. How you feeling? How you feeling, bro? How you feeling, man?
We good, bro. Listen, man, great win tonight. Listen, man, I know Triple M is not here, bro, but I mean, I have to say it, bro. We right now, since Triple M's been out, he on his daddy duties right now, but we 11-2 with Triple M not here. So listen,
Hey,
Triple M, if you want to keep having more babies, bro, go ahead and go ahead and do your thing,
yeah,
bro.
we got you covered. We
Right now,
we and the Knicks and the Knicks got you covered because things are
exactly,
booming right
yeah,
now. We feeling good. We feeling great, man. But
exactly.
yeah, bro, it was a good game. You know, the Knicks won in dominant fashion. They beat the former champions 122 to 84. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that type of game. I thought it would be a lot closer. I thought we were gonna see, just whatever got the Nuggets to the championship last year. I thought we were gonna see it on display today, but it just goes to show you that these Knicks are no pushover. They're tough. They're gonna come in and prove that you know they deserve to be in the conversation of contenders. And honestly, a game like today, although we could say, well, then they played down to the Nets, and they did, but the Nets also they played their butts off. Mikal Bridges went crazy, had one of those games, but the Knicks pulled off that W as well. But back to this Nuggets game, it just goes to show you that this trade for OG Ananobi was worth it, and it was the right move. This is why we brought him over here. We saw today, I think he had 22 points. He was defensively. I mean, he was out there shutting Jamal Murray down. I mean, he was guarding a lot of people, but just specifically Jamal Murray, who is probably the number two, I would say, on that team. He shut him down, and that's what we got him here for. And clearly, the players love him. You see, even Julius Randle. I mean, Julius Randle is a willing passer now with OG Ananobi on the team. The dude is now looking like a guy that's always flirting with triple doubles. So and you love to see it because there's always something that we worry with Julius Randle where we're afraid that he's always pounding the ball. He's not looking to pass. He's selfish and this and that. And he's showing that he's a little more of a team player now this time around of the year. And hey,
Eight
we're
assists
looking
today.
good, bro. 11-2
Yeah.
since the OG trade, and it feels good to be in this position, bro.
Yeah, nah, I agree 100%, bro. I mean, we beat the defending champs, bro. Like this is the top team in the NBA. One of my concerns that I did have in the beginning of the season was that like we're just not beating the teams. We're just not beating the elite teams. And in the month of January, we've done that. I initially said that Minnesota was the biggest win for us this next season, but nah, that's changed. Like this Denver win was a statement win for us, and so.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna start seeing, we'll start seeing the media really start to, see what's going on here because there's something special going on, bro. It's like you said, since the OG Anunoby trade, 11-2. I mean, you saw it today with the 6 steals.
Yeah.
Just did his thing today, man. Like his you could feel his presence on the court every single time, man. On the defensive end, and even on the offensive end, just the way the ball, with just the way the ball is moving, the spreading of the offense. And I'll be honest, bro, the two players I gotta give they shout out, and I'm gonna give them both the player of the game, man. I gotta give Jericho Sims and my boy Precious Achua I gotta give him the player of the game, bro. I have to, cause listen, man, Jokic, he's the best player in the NBA. He did have his 30 piece, but I'll be honest, bro, like Jericho Sims, he made it tough for him. Like he did not like I think he got up for this challenge and he did everything what he was supposed to do. Like he made life tough for Jokic. And also Precious Achua, he had the 10 rebounds today. Like you can also feel his presence when he was on the court. And so I gotta give a big shout out to those guys because obviously when Hartenstein did get hurt, we was all gasping like, man, who's gonna go ahead and step up for us? Like this is obviously with Mitch being out, now our other backup big is out. Like who's gonna go ahead and step up for us? And Jericho Sims, he definitely did his thing, man. So again, man, statement win for us for sure.
Big time, big time. And now you mentioned those guys, last episode, I was a little bit worried about guys like the Sims and the Precious Achuas. And then when Hardenstein got hurt, that's when I was like, damn, all hell broke loose. We might even see a couple losses here on the way, especially considering the fact that we know we're gonna face some bigs here that could, like mess it up for us in a sense. Like
Gonna make life tough.
I,
Yeah,
I
nah.
mean, today, just I like I said, I didn't expect this game to play out this the way that it did, and then to think that, damn, we got Precious Jewel and Sims trying to stop Jokic. I thought it was gonna be a shit show. Don't get me wrong, but you
Bro, we
know,
almost took the triple double. We almost took the triple double for Jokic today.
for
Like,
real. But a guy like Precious Achiuwa, who I was real critical last episode, that I was like, damn, honestly, I'm not sure if that's enough. And I mean the Toronto game, the Nets game, and then today he played pretty good. I mean, held his own on both ends of the floor, grabbed boards, and honestly, I'm not as worried as I was a week or two ago about the depth in our big man depth. I would say just because at the end of the day, we just need them to grab boards and be big bodies. Obviously, guys like Sims and Precious Achua are a little more versatile where they can switch off on
right.
on anybody. So that actually having them out there is actually not too bad. But I mean, we got two capable big men that at the end of the day, they're not doing nothing special on the offensive end. But the fact that if you could box out, set good picks, and grab the board and hustle, you're
That's
gonna
all we
get
need.
burned, and that's all we need because at the end of the day, Jalen Brunson is Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle are handling the score, and you got DiVincenzo in as a
Shout out to
complementary
him
piece, and
too.
everybody else are playing their role. So it's not necessarily like we need too much either from the big man position. So credit those
Exactly.
guys. I'm not as worried anymore. Now we just need to focus on getting the right pieces that we're missing, and then for us, we've been harping about it in these last couple of weeks, especially even like on Twitter. People will always talking about what we need and whatnot, but the biggest piece so far is addressing the second unit, which today actually was
Play
quite
good.
surprising. Quite surprising.
Play good.
Those guys busted their ass out there. I mean, we saw Quentin Grimes' appearance, which we've been yearning for. It was about damn time he's showing out, and
Josh Hart.
I'm pretty sure the rumors have been messing a little bit with him as well. But it was nice to see Quentin Grimes. I mean, 19 points, 2 for 5 from three, well, 7 for 11 from the field. I mean, that's pretty impressive for Grimes, man. I'm
That's
not gonna
good.
lie.
Yeah,
And
nah, especially because he's took it, bro. I mean, Tibbs put him there with Fournier. Like he in the like he riding the bench right now, and for
yeah,
him to just
yeah.
be ready, for him to just stay ready is the shout out to him, bro. And obviously the regulars, Josh Hart obviously did his thing, and so nah, you're absolutely right, bro.
Yeah, so I'm definitely glad to see the bench come around. Still think it needs to be addressed, but nonetheless, let's I was gonna say let's move on to the next topic, but just before that, man, my boy Jalen Brunson just continues to cook it up, man. This guy is on a burner. Obviously today he took a little bit of a backseat, but that's because the whole team came out and showed out at MSG. But Jalen Brunson continues to cook and still doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Today they announced the starters and Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton and Damian Lillard are the two guards that will be starting for the East. And man, I was so disappointed. And I'm pretty sure not even most, every Knicks fan was so disappointed today because we've seen the work that Jalen Brunson has put on display this year, and it just sucks because I mean we all know that the NBA All Star Game is a popularity contest, and the fans at the end of the day, they're gonna vote for the people they recognize by name and Dame time. All that is a brand. And of course,
It's the
you're
name.
gonna vote. You're gonna vote for a guy like that. But I mean, just if you see the highlights and you see the role that even like Brunson's playing on this team, where he even should be an MVP consideration, is actually quite embarrassing that the NBA on all formats of platforms aren't putting this guy like as one of the faces of the league at this point.
Nah, bro, I agree 100%, bro. And we need to put this to bed, bro. Like Jalen Brunson is one of the most he's one of those elite scorers in this league. Like let's just I don't want to hear this, oh, he's too small and all that. Is he a little short? Okay, that's fine. But he can score, with like all with any type of any elite score that you can name of, he's right there with them. Like I don't want to hear this. Like I'm tired of this narrative that he's not. that he's one of, that he's not one of those guys. Like he's definitely one of those elite score. He's one of the best elite scorers in this league, and so we just need to, we just need to cut this narrative off. Like he's a 1A type of player. Like,
Let's
and so
get it.
yeah, he should. Nah, yeah, bro. Like he's right there, honestly, right now. And listen, like Dame, Hall of Fame career, he's that guy. Nothing but respect for him. But listen, right now, right now is Jalen Brunson's time. Like, you ask anybody, who would you rather have right now? They most likely gonna say Jalen Brunson. So yeah, bro,
That's a fact.
it just is what it is.
That's a fact. And now since we're we got the trade deadline coming up, and we did say that we need to address the bench. But what do you feel like is the should be the priority as we approach the trade deadline here?
Man, bro, the worst part of this winning streak and of this streak that we've been having. I mean, like I said, we've been 11-2. The one of the things that's been messing with me is that I feel like the bench has actually played pretty well, but like I said, we still need that. We still do need that bench score. I really do feel like it, and so it either has to be some type of playmaker, a point guard, or I guess Alex Berg. It has to be one of the three, bro. Because listen, man, listen. Let's be honest. Let's have a conversation when we had Alex Burks here. He was solid for us.
Yeah.
I don't know. We obviously around the time, we were a little bad, and he was there. He was there with us in that COVID season. I feel like he played really solid for us. Like when we always spoke about
Talk
Alex
about
Burks,
it. Talk about it.
we always spoke super highly of him. Like he did all the right things on the court. And so I know Bruce Brown's name is out there, but I mean, I feel like Alec Burks brings the same type of qualities, and honestly, he might be he honestly might be a player that that as far as his value, we might be able to get, we might be able to get, we might be able to trade 2 first-round picks for Alex Burks instead of trading a protected for Bruce Brown, or for example, another name that's been thrown out there is Tyus Jones from Washington. Like, listen, that's a guy I really do think highly of too as well. I don't know how you feel about him, Don Juan, but I really like him out of Washington. Like, he's a guy that when he did play for Memphis, he's honestly like he's the guy that you want as your backup point guard. Like his assist to turnover is like ridiculous. I think he led the NBA last year. Like, he's a guy that if you're looking for a prototypical backup, that's the guy you do want. But again, the question is though, what is Washington going to ask for? Like, they most likely are going to ask for a first round pick. And that's a person with an expiring contract. So then the Knicks got to ask themselves, is this a guy that we do want to go ahead and, is this a guy that we do want to go ahead and re-sign, or is this just going to be some type of rental? And is that worth giving up a first round pick for? And so, but the issue with bringing someone like Alex Burks or Bruce Brown is the fact that, if you bring 2 forwards like that, then again, who's gonna run that offense when the bench comes in? I mean, I like Deuce McBride, but like we was talking about in the last episode, he's just not the guy that's going to be facilitating our offense. Like, again, he's actually been really good. He's actually been really good from the 3-point line, shooting the ball. Again, he's always great. He's been a pest. He's always really great on defense, but he's just not that guy that's really gonna play make for us. And so, probably for a guy like Tom Thibodeau, I know he probably, when he had Alec Burks here, I know he really loved him. So that's a guy he would really like to have, and someone probably like Bruce Brown, which brings the same type of qualities. I know a guy like Tom Thibodeau is probably like, I know he probably getting horny thinking about a lineup of Bruce Brown, Josh Hart, Julius Randle, and Isaiah Hartenstein, because he's like, oh my God, like the amount of defense that's going to be on the court is just ridiculous. But at the same time, who's going to be playmaking for us? Like, who's going to be facilitating the ball? And so we just had, those are questions we need to ask ourselves. It's like, what are we willing to give up? And again, there's going to be some type of trade-off in bringing one of those guys in. And so, again, And I think another name that we'll talk about as well is, and honestly, I feel like the name that we should really be going for, that we should really get is Malcolm Brogdon, because I feel like that's the combination of a guy like of a guy like Tyus Jones and Malcolm Brogdon, because it's a big guard. It's someone that can play make, and it's someone that's established in this league. Like, again, this is a rookie of the year, a six man of the year. He literally took the award from Emmanuel quickly last year, and so for me, that would be the prototypical guy I would want on my team. But again, it's like what are the Knicks willing to give up for a player like that? And then also you have to look at his injury history. So that's my thoughts about it. Like, again, I think those four players should be the four, because I mean, I know we spoke about Jordan Clarkson, but man, dealing with that, I don't even want to deal with that. I don't even want to deal with Danny Ainge, because I know he's gonna try to finesse us any way he can, and so I'm not really trying to have that. But I don't know, bro. What you think, bro? Like I said, for me is Malcolm Brogdon. That's definitely the
Okay.
target for me.
Yeah, but I don't know if I misheard you. What you said we giving up for Alec Burks?
I A second round pick.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
okay, okay.
yeah, second
I thought
round
you
pick.
said
Nah.
two. I thought you said two first round
Oh,
picks.
no, no, 2 second round. Nah, two second
Okay,
round.
okay. Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
nah,
yeah,
nah.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Okay.
for a front office like Detroit, that's just that just does stupid trades after stupid trades. I mean, I feel like we could definitely get two first.
Yeah,
We probably get one second round pick out of them, honestly. And so
we can.
that's why I brought up two first round picks for Alex Berg.
Okay. I mean, look, every name you brought up there is definitely I'll be happy with. I do think a move needs to be made because I just don't think the bench. Not that the bench isn't. Well, no, the bench isn't enough. Honestly, a game like today, obviously, we see it and it's like, oh, they had a great
Yeah,
game, but
it's not.
most
That's not gonna be
benches,
every time.
it's not gonna be every game, and most benches play better at home.
Right.
But how about those nights where we're off to a bad start and we need somebody to come off the bench? I can't
Or
rely
on
on Deuce
playoff.
McBride. I can't rely on Grimes to be that guy to, you know, get us out the hole or get us out of a funk. But
Or
a guy
playoff
like
time, bro. Like
yeah, and then playoff
whenever you get
time.
the yeah, like whenever you already have the scouting report of what his weaknesses are. Like, imagine facing a team like Miami Heat and they already have the scouting report on what
Exactly.
everybody does. So no, you absolutely right.
Exactly. So ideally, I mean, the role or like need that we're looking to fill is a playmaker slash creator scorer that comes off the bench. And immediately when it comes to guys that fit that mold, is Alec Burks and Brogdon, like you mentioned. I do think that Alec Burks is probably the easier one to get because not that many people speak highly of the man, and it's Detroit too. Maybe it's a
Yeah,
little bit
like
something with
no
that
one's paying
front
attention to
office.
him.
It's that
Yeah, no
front
one's paying
office that
attention.
you might be able to swindle a bit and just
Yeah.
give him a little couple second rounders and they'll be all right with Fournier. But I also think that from if I had to choose, it would be Brogdon because he just knows his role, and not to say that Alec Burks doesn't, but he's just a more complete player, I think.
hmm
But
Younger too.
you mentioned it earlier, it's the injury concerns with him, where
Right.
he hasn't. He honestly has been better these last couple years. I'm not even sure that he's been hurt or missed too many games with the Blazers.
Nah, he's been solid. He's been solid. Like,
But
I've been keeping an eye. He's been pretty solid for me.
yeah, okay. So, but in saying that, like he's playing right now, but God forbid, in the
You never
playoffs he
know.
goes down, then we just go back to square one, which is the Grimes and McBride and all that.
Right.
Which at the end of the day, injuries happen. But a guy like Alec Burks, man, I'm not gonna lie, I've been really digging deep. I'm like, damn, we're really gonna bring Alec Burks back, but I don't mind it, man. I'm not gonna lie, especially like over a guy like Bruce Brown, because the thing is that I feel like Bruce Brown doesn't bring the scoring punch that we need. He's a guy that's
Exactly.
versatile. I mean, we've seen the guy play from the 1 to the 5. The guy does it all, Swiss Army knife. But we got that in Josh Hart. It's a bit of a,
Exactly.
of a repetition of the style of guys that we have on the team. And there's guys. I mean, I've had plenty of people like come at me like, nah, but Bruce Brown is a good fit. He's gonna do whatever Tibbs wants, and I get that. But we need more scoring. We can't rely on
Yeah,
Jalen
yeah.
Brunson
Who's gonna score?
and Julius Randle to go off every night. We need somebody that could give us a punch, and not that Alec Burks is like, oh, this guy we're afraid, but that's a guy that could get hot. He's a microwave. I mean, we saw when he was here, and I also think that maybe seeing him when remember he was coming off the bench. He might have been like our sixth, seventh man
Mm-hmm.
that a couple years ago, but then sorry, 3 years ago. Then 2 years back, he was our starting point guard. When he went to the
Right.
starting point guard, that's where people started disliking Burks. So it wasn't like people were disliking him for the player or how he played. It was because unfortunately, we didn't have any point
It's
guards of
just
the
not a
team.
point.
He
And
was
that's the
forced.
thing.
He was forced to
Mm-hmm.
play a position that he doesn't play. So that brought out the worst of his game. But realistically, bro, this guy is a great player. He's 6'5". He could defend. Not, I'm gonna say he's a lockdown defender, but he could defend. He's good. He'll be good off the switch and whatnot. Like it'll be perfect on the defensive end, but offensively, he's literally what we need. He shoots 40% from three. Like he's been
Mm-hmm.
shooting over 40% for the last 3 or 4 years already. So it's like he's a proven 40% scorer. It's not like a fluke year. I think career wise, he's like a 38, 39% from three. So it's like we getting somebody that's a sniper. And then at a limited role that you're not even like relied on every night, but can go
Yeah.
off. I mean, and take that scoring burden off of the Randall and Brunson. I mean, why not? And like I said, you're not even giving up too much. I think this is might be the perfect guy to get at this point because of the fact that we don't have to give up too much and the fit. I mean, he was also Tibbs's like like
Favorite.
favorite player. Like he was,
Yeah, bro.
always, there to be like whenever Tibbs needed somebody to show up, that was Alec Burks. And obviously, the team is a lot better now, a lot more reinforcements. But it will also be a nice little story to tell. Like, wow, Alec Burks, he left and whatnot, got paid, but he came back and played well for us. And I honestly
Like
think like
Walkers.
he's waiting for somebody to pick him up because I know obviously every
Exactly.
contender is looking to pick up somebody and make an addition off the bench. But what a great story to tell, especially as a Knicks fan. Like, yo, this guy came back and he helped us get over that hump, played a valuable role off the bench, and we made a deep run with Alec Burks. Like, and he
Nah,
deserves it because he was part of the story of us getting to where we are right now too. So
exactly.
it'll
Of
be
starting
nice.
that foundation, bro. Now you're absolutely right, bro. And you brought up a big point, bro, because I think our biggest criticism when he was here a few years back is like, yo, this man should not be playing 30, 40 minutes a game. And
Yeah,
we're not gonna be asking that of them. Again, we will be asking of like give us a good solid 15, 20 minutes, which he can definitely go ahead and do for us. And so yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. I really wouldn't mind it. Like I said, when we initially started this pod, like Alex Burks was a big conversation. And like I said, all three of us always spoke super highly of him. Like we didn't have no problem. We had absolutely no issues with his game. Like we all loved his game. So now, yeah, I would, like I said, I would open. I'm willing to go with it. And that's a good guy to have.
definitely.
I like the defense of that second unit. Like I said, man, Tibbs would just he'd be ecstatic with a lineup of Josh Hart, Alec Burks, put Dante or OG. Just imagine, look at the length in that
The
second
length
unit.
is
Like
pretty crazy.
the length is crazy, and then imagine with a guy like Hartenstein or whenever Mitch comes back, like it's ridiculous. No, it's ridiculous. And so
Yeah,
yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm definitely with that.
yeah.
Um,
But man,
yeah.
these trade rumors are definitely heating up as we get
Yeah,
closer
no,
to
yeah,
this
bro. There's a
trade
lot of names
deadline.
coming up. I do want to ask you real quick about another name that did pop up, because he did just get traded. How you feel about Kyle Lowry, bro? Like honestly, and on a limited role, because again, we're not asking him to play because Miami was asking him to be their starter. What do you think about him playing a limited role? He is a little older. I ain't gonna lie. He do be looking a little. He be looking a little overweight. He be giving me Raymond Felton vibes, low key, but I ain't gonna lie,
Oh
he's a
man,
champion. He is a champion, and he's a guy that has proven himself in different teams. So, how you
that's a
feel about a
fact.
guy like that, though?
That's a great question, bro. Because I saw his name being brought up here and there, and obviously he's being rumored as a buyout candidate. I haven't heard any other story. I mean, I think I heard maybe the Hornets trying to flip him, but honestly, I don't see anybody picking up that contract. But adding a guy like that, man, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Initially, I'm like, what the like Kyle Lowry, wash this, that, but I'm okay with it. I mean, look, put it
I'm with
this
it
way.
too.
We need like I said earlier, we need a playmaker. And right now off the bench, you mean you brought it up earlier about McBride. McBride can't run an offense. Like that's not what he does. That's not his natural instinct. And the time when he does it is really ugly. But Kyle Lowry could do it way better. I feel like he's already in. Kyle Lowry's in a transition where he will accept the role off the bench because at the same time that's the only role that's available at this time, especially if he wants to play in a contender. Most people already have their starters. He's literally gonna have to settle with a role like that at this point in his career. But he could shoot the three. He's very experienced. You mentioned that he's an NBA champion and obviously his best days are behind him. But we're not asking for much. We literally need him to fill this void of 10 to 15 minutes per game, if that. Because the thing is, there's another thing too. If we do get him, I feel like it would have to be if we don't make a trade. So we get him for like not even giving anything up for him, which is even better. And
Because you
then
keep
just like a
Grimes, because
and then just like a chair, and then we keep Grimes as well. So that's always a nice because
yeah, because I
I
feel like
mean
he would be a trade pack.
I still
Whatever
think,
trade I feel like it happens, he most likely would be
and
a
ideally, I
person.
still want to keep Grimes. If we get Burks and Bruce Brown, like I feel like we have like I feel like we could make those moves without even giving up Grimes. Like
Right,
because even Burks, I mean, we said it earlier, two picks and I mean 2 second round picks and Fournier. I mean, is an expiring contract, and then you get 2 second round picks. You know, you might say otherwise, and others might say like, nah, you need to give up something. But then if we give up Grimes, Fournier, and 2 second round picks, I think it's overpaid. It's either Grimes or the picks, and and Fournier, of course. That's the way that I feel like it'll make sense in my book. Just because we also need to keep these picks for the long run. But
right.
but the Lowry situation, the fact that he's a buyout is I feel like not that it's a no brainer, but we do need that playmaker. And Kyle Lowry, like I said,
That's
he knows
definitely
how
a
to run an
conversation they should be
offense,
having. Yeah,
and I know it's another Villanova guy as well. You know that you
that's
could always
true.
use another one. But you know what I really liked about the Kyle Lowry edition, what a Kyle Lowry edition would look like with this team, is that he played for the Heat. The guy's gonna come with the Heat playbook, and we need that inside information right there, where we could really break down, with the brains of Tibbs with his defense mentality, they could really pick apart what a Miami Heat offense is. And man, it could really be clutch for us to have a guy like that on a team. Not and that goes beyond just his play on the court. That's literally like just play style and telling us like, look, this guy does this guy does that. Like I wouldn't mind it, bro. I wouldn't mind it at all. I know he's past his prime, but I do think he still got some good basketball to play,
Nah,
and
yeah, I
and
think he still
and yeah,
got gas left.
especially at this limited role.
Nah, I agree 100%, bro. Like I like Kyle Lowry. I mean, and again, we're not asking him to play 30, 40 minutes because that's what Miami was asking him to do. And I think at this point in his career, he's not able to do that. But if you're asking him, okay, go ahead and lead the second unit, I could definitely see that. And again, this is a guy that also brings it. He's very smart on defense. Like he's a guy that will go ahead and take the charge. Very good from the 3-point line. And so nah, you're absolutely
Wow.
right, bro. That's a good that would be a good addition, bro. So I think the Knicks definitely do have options. I think the other person I did want to ask you about, which we didn't bring up, which at this point I don't think it really makes sense, is DeJounte Murray, bro. I'm low key like I'm off that at this point. Um, just because I think from what we I mean, number one, he's coming from a situation right now in Atlanta where he's just not figuring it out with Trey Young, a person that is very ball dominant, and you asking this man to come to the Knicks, to another team that is very ball dominant with with their two players, which I mean I love. Like right now, bro, like this Brunson Randall tandem is one of the best tandems in the league, and so to bring a person that is very ball dominant, I don't really see it. And then the other thing as well is that yeah, he got the wingspan, and he can bring it on the defensive end, but Like, does he really though? Because the last time he really made an impact on defense was like 2, 3 years ago. Like, this is not a person that like this is a person that has slipped defensively, and so for me, I'm low key off of it. And also, like we spoke about before, with even bringing a backup point guard like Tyus Jones, like this gonna it's probably gonna take a protected first round pick. Imagine what a DeJounte Murray trade looks like. So
Yeah.
I don't know, bro, but how you feel about that one though?
So I was actually it was almost like I was swayed into it. The thought initially I wasn't like into it, but then I was like, man, maybe it could work. I mean, we've seen Brunson play with a guy like Luca. Brunson, he's one of the best, you know, he's been one of the best spot up shooters in the league this year. He has
Yeah,
improved in that greatly. So I felt like he could play off the ball at times with a guy like DeJounte Murray because of
yeah,
that.
bro.
Obviously Trey Young, he pounds the ball and the offense runs through him at all times. Where with Brunson is more of a, I got the ball now, but we could pass it around and whatnot. Like it's more of a team friendly game, not so much like him like just looking
Yeah.
for assists.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact, bro. No shade to Trey Young, but he definitely doesn't have Jalen Brunson's basketball IQ, like
No,
for sure on the court.
definitely not. But because of that, I mean, I felt like because of that, I was okay and open to it, especially because you know Jalen Brunson needs somebody that's a good defensive player and whatnot. Like especially like the build that DeJounte Murray is, and then you also want to, we got to consider the contract. Like he's essentially almost like a RJ similar. He has RJ similar type contract, and he's been playing. He has been shooting the 3 pointer pretty good this year too. So I thought this might be the perfect fit. But then when you start mentioning how much you got to give up, the Hawks are trying to recoup whatever they traded for him. I think they traded like
Mhm.
four, like 3 picks and then 2 swaps. Like it might have been 5 picks if I'm not mistaken. Like it's some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
nah, it was something crazy. Yeah,
So
I
the
think it was
fact
like
that they're
four.
looking
Yeah,
to recoup, they're really trying to break somebody's bank, and I'm not for that. And as much as I, want to believe that this guy's like the perfect fit, I felt like it's more like me wishing that he's that fit because, like you mentioned, he hasn't been that good defensively. And then I was justifying. I'm like, no, maybe he's not motivated. They're not really playing for him on that team. Like I said, Trey Young just be pounding the ball, pick and roll here and there, and then it's like the first pass is the first shot. It's not really like a team friendly game. But the more that I think about it, is like, do we really want somebody like that? I mean, we traded RJ for a reason. It's because those are a guy like RJ was trying to get his, and DeJounte Murray at the end of the day is gonna be
he's
that
gonna try to
guy.
get his. Yeah, nah, he's gonna try to get his
And
too.
and the starting lineup hasn't been the problem, as we've seen. The starting lineup actually has been great since
I
the
like
trade.
Dante.
We don't
Nah,
we
that's a
don't
fact.
need to disrupt whatever's going on there. So let's
Hmm.
let's worry about what the what or what I, which is what we mentioned earlier. The main priority is addressing the bench, and obviously Dejounte Murray is not going to come off the bench, and especially for the money that he's getting paid for whatever we give up in terms of assets. That's not a bench player, anyways. So let's not really mess up. Let's not really break up what we got going with the starting unit. And we don't need to swing for the fences just yet. We also need to make sure we got enough assets to trade for that big fish, as we've been saying for a while now. But I think that the next move is a marginal move, and I know um that might rub some people the wrong way, but just like a game today, obviously just one game, but like a game like today just shows you that we're not that far from
No,
being
we
a
not.
really from being in that conversation of contender. We're right there. We're knocking at the door, and that trade for OG got got us even closer. Now it's just let's let the team flow, and obviously the bench needs some help, so let's add some bench help. So I like but the whole point of this is that I'm out of the Jonte Murray
Yeah,
sweepstakes.
bro.
I think we'll be all right without him. And yeah, man, just let's strictly focus on the bench, bro, because That's all we need to do right
That's
now.
what I need. Now, yeah, I agree, bro. I like the starting five we have now. I like Dante. Like Dante's been bringing it. He's been consistent shooting the ball. He always brings it on defense, and so you see with the you see with him in the starting lineup, there's definitely been a change. And so now, yeah, bro. I like I said, man, the Brunson Randall, the 1-2. Honestly, like you could. I listen, man. I know I may be over speaking, bro, but I put him right there with Jokic and Murray, bro. Like I'm right. I'm like you know.
Yeah,
Um, I put him right there. Like he's like they're both one of the they're one of the two elites. Like the 1-2 tandems are one of the best in the league. Like put him with Jamal Murray and Jokic. Put him with AD and LeBron. Like put him in that type of category because
I agree.
that's what this look like. Giannis and Dame, they're right there. So
I agree. I
nah,
agree.
yeah, I don't want to, because it would essentially be the same type of player RJ, because Dejounte is a slash, he's a slasher, he's a guy that needs the ball in his hands. It's exactly what RJ was, and so nah, I don't want to mess that up right now.
Yeah. And then speaking of that, because we have been playing so well as of late, and I did say, that because of our recent play, we could start talk. We could start talking about being contenders here and there. I mean, we beat the former
Talk
champions,
about it.
and we
Talk
had
about
some
it.
good games against the best teams from the T Wolves to the 76ers. I mean, I know y'all saw that game against the 76ers where
Spanked them
we,
too.
we spanked them and we gave MB hell, and that was without Mitch. Again, a lot of these games have been without Mitch, and we've been doing our thing. And then these last few games have been without Harnstein, and it's like, bro, like this team is wounded. We're not even at our best. Like, not well. I feel like we are the best, but we don't even have our best players out there.
Our best defensive player. That was again that was our that was a not that was literally a candidate for like defensive player of the year that we
Facts.
lost.
He was having a career year, Mitchell Robinson, and then Hartenstein just stepping up and doing this thing. Probably would have been in the conversation for most improved, which I'm pretty sure it was a sprained ankle. I mean, they haven't said much. The Knicks be
Yeah, it'd be a little.
tight-lipped. They be tight-lipped when it comes to injuries. They don't really disclose anything. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But according to sources, they say that it's just a sprained ankle. So hopefully he's back by the next week or two. But because of the conversation and how we've been playing, especially after the addition of OG Ananobi, I've been hearing a lot of contender talk and whatnot, man. And this was actually a hot topic on Twitter. Is that do we feel like this is a championship or bust season for the Knicks because they have been playing well. Obviously they I'm not sure what their record against teams over 500, but their record against teams under 500 is damn near perfect. I think they only lost that one game against the Jazz, so I think they're like 20-1 against teams under 500. So we beating up teams you should be, and now it seems like we're beating on teams that are supposedly quote unquote better than us. So do you feel like this is a championship or bust season right now?
Yes, absolutely, yes, bro.
Mm.
I don't even gotta think about it, bro.
Hold on, your mic.
Um,
There
bro,
we
I'm
go.
telling you, this is a finals team right here. Like this is literally a finals team, bro. Like I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there, bro. I'm there. You can't,
And
bro. You can't
what
tell me.
what is it like? How do you see it playing now? Is it because like you're banking
I
on some
mean,
injuries, or you feel like we
so
just
here's the thing, bro, is that every single team that's on top of us, there's a negative perception on every single team that's ahead of us in the standings. There is
yeah
there's a negative perception about them. Let's just start with the number one seed. Let's just start with Boston. Like the last few years, let's listen. They did make the finals against the Warriors. But they were supposed to win. Like there was, looking at it now in hindsight, and looking how bad Andrew Wiggins looks, and just looking how Jordan Poole looks right now in another team. Just looking at it in hindsight, they were supposed to win that finals.
yeah
And again, they go against, and going back to last year, they go against Miami, who was an eighth seed, and yes, we did lose to them as well. But that was supposed to be a team that they were supposed to win against, and they choked.
yeah
Like they went ahead and choked. They just went ahead and choked. So that's the perception on them. And also too, they still, and again, if you speak to, because obviously I'm a Bill Simmons fan. Like I know I'm a Bill Simmons fan, so I listen to his podcast, and that's a Boston homer. Like a lot of people in Boston don't trust their head coach at all. Like they just don't trust this guy at all. Like, and you notice it too whenever they face the elite teams in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, they always choking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's with Boston. Milwaukee, I mean, look at what just happened yesterday. Like they went ahead and fired their head coach. Like, come on now. And they over here dancing and all that. Again, Dame is one of the worst defensive players literally in the league. Like, yes, they do have Giannis, and shout out to him. Like, that's, again, that's literally top. He's right there with Jokic as far as one of the top two players in the world. But at the same time, too, they're horrible defensively. This is a team that again they won the title, but it's already been a few years. So again, a lot of the core players that did win them the title, they are older. So essentially, you're just banking on You're only banking on Giannis at this point. You're banking on Giannis, and you're banking on a healthy Dame, which again, that's an older guy. Like he's not Jalen Brunson in his 20s.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you literally have that. You have Philadelphia that also, even though again Embiid he dropped 70, like this man is going, he going crazy. He's definitely going to win a second MVP, but he literally has the same negative perception, the same negative the same negative comments that Randall gets about that he be choking in the playoffs. And B has the same thing too. Like this is a guy that every time when he's in the playoffs, like he's always invisible. Like you just don't see him step up in the big You just don't see him step up in the big moments. So again, is that going to be the same thing this year? You don't. I mean, you don't know. So so you have that, and who's the other team? I mentioned Milwaukee. I mentioned Boston. And again Indiana. I'm not worried about Indiana. Indiana. Come on, we beat in the first round. We beating Indiana. The Cavs, I don't trust the Cavs. I don't trust the like again. They're on a bit of a win streak. They got a little motion right now, but I don't trust the Cavs. Like again, this they do. Mobley is injured, but at the same time, like I saw this last year where Randall just bullied and Mitchell bullied Mobley and Allen. So I'm not worried about them. And so yeah, bro. I mean, if you're telling me, so yes, I'm. If we don't make the if we don't make the NBA Finals, yes, I will be disappointed, regardless of who we lose to.
Mm.
Like this is an NBA. Now, when we get to the NBA Finals again, I respect a team like Denver. Again, we caught them. Listen, we did our thing. We did our thing, but we caught them in a little bit of a bad day. Like you don't. Again, Denver doesn't get beat by 38 points. Like that regularly doesn't
Nah.
happen. So I don't know what's gonna happen once we get to that point. But if you're telling me, but there is a roadmap for us to win the Eastern Conference Finals for
Yes.
sure. Because, like I said, bro, and tell me if I'm lying. Like that's literally the negative. That's the negative perception of each of those teams. Like
Nah, you're right.
most of those teams are either chokers or just haven't showed up in the big moments. Like Jason Tatum is another one. Like people are still waiting for him. Like again, we say that he's one of the we say that he has the potential of being the best player in the world, but again, though, he just hasn't showed it. Like we still see him in that middle, top 5, top 6. But again, you have the potential to be one of the best players in the world. Like you should, at this point, you should be the best player in the world, and we just haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, bro, and again, I think the biggest X factor for us will be Julius Randle because I'm the
Wow.
biggest Julius Randle homer, but at the same time too, I
That's a
can't
fact.
I can't lie. My boy has not showed up in the biggest moments, and so this is and I said this at the beginning of the season. That is that's the biggest factor.
Yeah.
Once we get to the playoff, if Julius Randle shows up, we'll get to the finals. If he shows up the way he showed up this season, we're making it to the finals.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, and although that doesn't
Let me
mean I
know.
don't
Let me
think,
know.
and although I don't think it's not because I don't think the team can make it to the championship, I think it's a possibility, obviously, but it's just until we make that all in move for that superstar All NBA player they've been saying that they're gonna get or trying to get, I feel like that's when it's championship or bust. Right now, I mean, we don't haven't put all of our chips in yet. We still obviously we have a good team that could make it to that could make a run, but like I said, we have these assets at our disposal, And until, like I said, until we make this move, that, I mean, honestly, I don't know, because I don't know what move is that gonna be, because it just doesn't feel like there's any star or superstar in sight. Excuse me.
Right,
I know we, Embiid. I mean, the Embiid's, the Donovan Mitchells, the Devin Bookers, all those guys are having success on their team. So I don't
exactly.
even see them requesting a trade anytime soon. And so I'm not really sure, because even Woj has been coming out, and he's been clearly stating that the Knicks will do something this offseason. Whereas before the wording was a little off, but now it sounds more like he's confirming this offseason is gonna be where it happens. So
Right,
because of that, I can't go all in, or confirm like is a championship or bust, because there's also next year, and there's next year, and there's next, like, I mean, there's also different expectations. Like, obviously, I hold the Knicks to a different standard than, let's say, the Yankees, where I feel like the Yankees are always is championship or bust. Where maybe, and maybe that's just me protecting my heart, or my love for the Knicks. Is like, I just can't. I don't think we're there yet, and it's probably, I'm almost like moving almost with the front office, like, we gotta build it, but be careful. Like, we can't go all in. Let's just take it one day at a time, and it's fine, because I do think that that's how we've been building the team, and it's worked great. I mean, look at us now. I mean, we're 28-17 on a 11-2 run since getting OG, which was technically our biggest trade to this day, in some
hmm
years. So to see the front office hit moves like that, I'm okay with just like taking it slow, not making the all in move. And again, if we make it to the championship, that's more like we playing with house money at that point, because we still got picks to move. We still got assets. Like, we got stuff to do even after, just to secure our road to the championship. But like you said, things could play in our favor, which I felt like last year things kind of did. I
They
mean,
they played in our
we
favor.
we
They
faced the
did.
Cavs, which I wouldn't say that played so much in our favor. I just think that,
No, that no
you know
that we were supposed to win, but the
because they were
Miami part, like
barely
again,
Mars, but like Miami, Jimmy Butler getting hurt was a
because they
nice.
beat the
Well,
they beat the
Miami, and
one
then
seed.
Miami even beating the Bucks. So us
hmm
avoiding the Bucks in the second round was also playing in our favor. But unfortunately, Julius Randle got hurt, and I feel like that was the major factor in that series. I mean, some people will say otherwise, but I do think that was probably the biggest factor there. But I'm not sure. I feel like you didn't mention this, but KP is another player that he's known as an injury prone guy
Yeah,
that can get hurt for the Celtics. So I
and
understand
he
that
has
there's a
killed us.
roadmap. There is a roadmap there for us to make it. Like, and that played out last year too. And last year we played well against the Celtics, where if we beat the Heat and we face the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, I mean, I'll give us a shot to beat them too, man. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah,
it's not championship or bust to me. I can't say that with
I
a
mean,
definitive answer.
so are we talking about championship? I don't know about that. If you're talking about NBA Finals,
Okay,
I'm all
NBA
in.
Finals
I'm
or
all in.
bust.
I'm all in.
Okay,
Yeah, NBA Finals or bust. I'm all in
yeah,
on
I
that.
still I still can't say
Championship,
that, but I hear
I
you.
don't see it.
I
But
feel
you
I
know what?
feel you.
But listen, bro, real quick, before we end this, bro, I know what it is, bro. I'm gonna be a therapist, bro. I know what it is, bro. You have the you have the Julius Randle PTSD, bro. That's what it is. Like we've seen again, the 2020 season, we saw this with Atlanta. We saw this a little bit last year, even though he was hurt. It's been it's been rocky, and I get it. But we do have to get this notion. Like I know right now we're patient, and I'm all in. Like I'm all in with being patient. Right now the move is not there. Like people be talking about the Donovan Mitchell. Honestly, bro, Donovan Mitchell is that trade right now is dead. I'm not even thinking about that. But I think one thing that we do have to start really realizing, and it's just I'm just seeing the trend right now in the NBA, is that this trend of like having a big three, bro, it's not even there no more. Like if you think about it, bro, Denver won it with two guys, like with two pretty like again, obviously Jokic is the number one player in the world, but Murray is he's an all-star player. Like
Yeah,
he's not a superstar player. he's a great 1-2 to have right there with Jokic. And I mean, you see it all around the NBA. Like again, the Suns are trying to do it with three guys, but at the same time, we don't know if that's going to happen. But if you look at the top of the East right now, if you look at the top, it's Damon Giannis. I know the Lakers are sub 500, but it's still LeBron and AD. Like that's
Yeah,
the 1-2 tandem. Um, Even Miami is Ben and Jimmy. Like at the end of the day, and so Luka Kyrie, like that's what the trend is right now. And so
yeah,
I know we're patiently waiting for this third star, but and I get it because people just don't see Randall as that 1-2. I think that's the biggest thing, bro, is that
yeah,
people don't see, even though the trend is the trend is for the 1-2, to have that 1-2, not necessarily a big three, just a big two. People just don't see Randall as people. The perception is that Randall's just not that big, is just not the right person to have right next to Brunson. And so I think that's the perception that has to change for people to start seeing that, okay, nah, this is a team that can reach to the finals. And
hey,
so I mean, we'll see, bro. Like he's
I'm
having a great
sure
season, right? That's regular for him now, but yeah, nah, like I said, bro, I think it's just the PTSD of Randall, of us
it's a
just not
PT. It's a
necessarily
combination
believing in
of
him.
it's a combination of the PTSD with Randall, but also the Knicks.
That too.
It's a
Yeah,
bit
no,
of
it's the
both.
first time. No,
It's
yeah,
a
bro,
bit of
first time
both.
we in this situation.
But I also think that with Randall, like he's gonna have to show it in the playoffs, man.
That's what it is.
Obviously he's only been to the playoffs a few times. It hasn't been too much a playoff appearance. So the fact that he hasn't been there much also doesn't help his a point or angle at proving people wrong. But you got to make it to the playoff more consistently to have a more for sure or stable like points or stats. The
Hmm.
fact that he's only been there a few times, people are quick to no, but he hasn't. Yeah, yeah, he hasn't produced in the playoff. Yeah, but he only been to the playoff twice in his like 8 9 year career. Like you got to bear with him now.
Right.
You got to bear with him, and he's never played with a guy like Jalen Brunson. And obviously last year he was hurt, but he still played bad, which is fine. You could say what you want, but the team is even better now.
Right.
So let's see how he plays with this year, with this iteration of the Knicks. If he plays bad, hey, say what you gotta say. But
Nah,
then at
yeah,
that
I'll
point,
take it,
then
bro. I'll
that's when
take
the
the
front
hit.
office needs to adjust and either trade him or changes role on the team. But for now, like as much as I do like Randall and I do think I'm okay with him being the second guy on the team. I just can't fully believe that he's gonna be the guy to lead us to the championship right now. But I
Yeah.
hope he proves me wrong. I hope he proves me wrong, man.
He gonna prove you wrong, bro. I say he's gonna prove you wrong. I'm telling you.
Hey, but before we close out, last week is long awaited. We've been having some technical difficulties in trying to get this giveaway going after we reach 1,000 subscribers. But we're here now. And it also took a while too to get like the names and confirm everybody. It was we got 1,000 and change subs, and then to make sure like people that commented on Twitter, people that commented on IG and on YouTube, like to make sure everybody also followed and subscribed and even liked the video. It took a while, but and it was a filter. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping for a better turnout than this, but these are all of the people that do follow us. Well, follow us not only on IG, Twitter, and on or subscribe to the channel, but also like the video and comment it. So shout out to these guys here, and
Shout out to
whoever
y'all.
wins, best of luck to y'all guys, man, because it's well deserved, and we always appreciate you guys.
For
For
sure.
making sure to stay in tune with what we do out here, man. So this one's for y'all, man. And so best of luck to these guys here. And may the best man win.
Let's see. Let's see. I kind of like this system. Okay.
Oh, Emmy Este.
Let's
Okay.
get it.
The winner, Emmy
Nah, shout
Este.
out to you. Congrats.
The funny thing is, that's actually my cousin. He he's actually he was a big Jordan fan, and it took a lot of I wouldn't say a lot of convincing, but he's somehow turning to a Knicks fan, man. I'm not gonna lie, he's making his way to the Knicks side, and And it's actually like for me, I see it as like the Knicks are doing something right to get somebody like that to become a
Yeah,
fan, and it may be because he's also a homer in terms of New York sports. But I mean, he could have been a Knicks fan a long time ago if that was the case, right? He was like
exactly.
I said, he was a Jordan. He was a product of a Jordan, and he's somehow leaning towards a Knicks fan. So it just shows you that we're doing something right if we're getting a legit OG Jordan Bulls fan to come to this side, man.
To come to this side, right? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I stopped taking applications for Knicks fans, because for all the shade they used to throw at us, but it's all right, bro, because he family. I'm gonna let it slide, bro. But
Ah,
we gonna have to stop taking applications, bro, for all the shade y'all
for
threw us
the
for the
for
last
the
3 years,
years
for
of
sure.
of, of
Of
being the butt of
torment.
jokes and
Yeah, man, roasting us, man.
facts.
Jesus.
I had that. I had that. But as we come to an end here, just some details about what's the road ahead. Knicks have seven. The next games that we got here, 7 out of the 8 next 8 games are at home. So like I've said before, MSG, we got to protect the house, and we've actually been playing well at the house. So we got to keep it going, and we got this run going here. So hopefully, we come out unscathed, especially in this next game where we actually face a familiar foe in the Miami Heat this Saturday. So, what before we end here, what are your expectations of this matchup against the Heat?
I think it's going to be a good matchup. I don't know if obviously Hardenstein, it looks like he's going to be out for that game, but like I said, if Jericho Sims shows the same effort he did today against Bam Adebayo, and Precious Chua does the same effort, bro, I think we'll come out with the dub, man. I think we got a great team. I know they just got Terry Rozier, but I think we're up for the challenge, bro. I see this winning streak going for a while. Like I
Mm,
could definitely see it going.
I like the sound of that, man. I do think that it's definitely gonna be a good one because Miami always shows up against us and we always show up against them. So especially at home, I don't know how I feel about this newly addition of Terry Rozier. I do think they were missing somebody like that off their bench, and he is having a great season, but it's also gonna take time for him to mesh with that squad. There's also Tyler Hero who's been balling. So it might be a bit of a tug of war between those guys. Like, nah, I want to shoot, but that's definitely gonna be something to watch for on Saturday, and I'm excited for it. And hopefully our bench shows up because, like I said, the bench usually shows up when they're at home and they're hot right now, and hopefully they keep it up against this Miami team who we're battling in terms of seeding, and we might see them in the playoffs once again. So, and then also the rivalry that has to be also considered because Knicks and Heat have been battling for years now, so it's definitely a matchup to look forward to. But anything else to say before we close out here, bro?
No, man, just keep appreciate the support. Yeah, man, just appreciate the support, man. Right now, we in a good winning streak right now, so man, keep tapping into us, like man, and shout out to Don Juan for all the content he's been putting on IG, bro. Please follow us, man, because man, we just loving the highlights right now. The winning streak is going crazy right now is a great time to be a Knicks fan. So definitely,
Facts.
definitely follow us. Definitely follow us on all the platforms and. Yeah, bro. Shout out to my boy Triple M, man. I know right now I know he's on daddy duties, but I know he's enjoying this right now too. So shout out to my boy too.
Facts, man. You definitely missed, bro, and I know you'll be back with us soon. But take your time, enjoy this moment of Knicks doing something that we had honestly. It feels like we haven't seen before. It's definitely a different time here, and at the same time, bro, like you this experience with fatherhood is probably different. Me and Zebo
Yeah,
do not have any kids just yet, but Triple M is on his second wind here, and I know that
yeah,
that daddy duty is something that is it's not something that you experience just lightly. It's definitely something
yeah.
different.
Nah,
So
my boy cherishing it right now.
he's definitely in the moment, and we're here with you, bro. No matter what, bro. We always gonna just hold it down while you hold down your business too, man. But definitely definitely miss you and hope to see you soon too, man. You know,
Facts.
we you're the star of the show, and yeah, Jalen Brunson, right? You know, that's what we could say, right? But but nonetheless, you know, thank you everybody for the follow. Thank you guys for listening and watching on the show. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. And also, one more time, thank you and congratulations to Emmy Este for the Jalen Brunson signed hat. A nice start to his Knicks fandom. A Jalen Brunson hat, man. You gotta give him a
No,
couple claps
facts,
for that,
bro.
man.
Nah,
That's a
that's a fact, bro. Great
nice little collection, man. But appreciate you,
for the
appreciate
greatest Nick
everybody.
point guard. Facts.
Hey, for real, man. But you know, thank you guys for watching, man. This Nick's Wildin'. Peace.
Appreciate y'all.